My husband is jealous of my new promotion, so dear Dog Like Dads, I'm in a bit of a difficult situation. I work in sales and have just landed the job of my dreams at an executive level. I'm also a mother of two and a wife, and it seems like my husband is not happy with my promotion. His reasoning is that I'll be spending more time away from the children, which is fair. But I have a feeling it's because I will be earning significantly more than he does. For me, more money means more support for the household, but he thinks that I'm not invested in our family. What should I do?
This is tricky.
Come on, modern women that were
Okay,
raised in the millennium.
so
Come on.
I
This
think
is funny.
that she needs to continue having that conversation with him and reassure him that it doesn't take away his manhood, it doesn't take away his importance, and
Isn't
Just
that tiring though? Especially if you've just come into the like your dream job. And you
It
have to
is,
explain it to
but-
a partner like that. That's gonna cause a strain on the marriage. Like just the fact, forget the gender roles here and that. If your partner comes home with that greater news and you are not supportive because you are worried about your own insecurities, like that's poor.
yeah, it's draining and it is hard, but relationships are hard. So what else is that? What else can she do?
That sounds like
think
the
leave.
unhappiness is gonna cause.
Yeah,
cause
I think for
divorce or
me, it
something.
sounds like she's not sure that he is insecure about the finances. She said it seems like that. She could also just be projecting, or she could also just feel like she needs to find something against him to be like, oh, you're not happy for me, it's because of this or that. She doesn't know that for sure, and he's verbally communicated. You're gonna be spending more time away from from the family.
Yeah.
That's the fact. She knows that for a fact. He said that verbally. The other thing she doesn't know, she's just assuming it's about that. So now we don't know whether he has dropped hints that finance is a big thing for him, or we don't know the backstory about that. But what we do know for a fact is the fact that he said you're going to be spending more time away from the family. That could be a trigger for him. She doesn't know that. Does she know that?
What does that mean, though? Because I do feel the idea of, because it sounds like gender roles to me. It sounds like you should be home more. But I also think, like, one thing in family, you have to announce how important money is.
That's true. Maybe they haven't had the conversation. I think in a more practical sense, you could reassure him even in the thing that he's saying is so and you don't believe it. Even if you don't believe he thinks it's not about the family, you can still be like, okay, babe, but if I have 50K more a year, we can have a chef, we can have a nanny, we can have a sleep-in nanny or whatever it is. I can have more support for the family.
But knowing the UK, it's probably 10K more or something bizarre like that.
That just means that I can get more help for us and we can be spending more time together. I could, when I'm not working, I have a lot more time with you instead of just running the household. So I think more practical things that you can reassure him in is probably where she needs to start before she gets to why are you triggered?
Is that valuable to then say, I'm going to earn 15K more and use that 15K to get more support? Then it doesn't kind of erodes the benefit of like having it. And I do think like I was watching something today and we were talking about this idea of happiness and like how a certain type of archetype fulfill their cup in work and others that fill it in family. And those who fill it in work, I think the guy, it was that couples therapy show, the American one, that is on TikTok all the time. But the guy was basically saying that my mum worked herself to death. She became partner in this law firm, and then she got sick, and then she passed away. And like he, as the son, could walk in there today, even though her name is still on the wall as a partner, and nobody would know who he is. And she gave all of herself to this job and not to the house. Whereas my dad was always happy with his friends and his kids, and she always used to judge him for not being more ambitious. And I thought about that actually, and I think there is a value system where some people just really lean into their work and some people really lean into family. But often the work leaning into, unless it's a massive, like I feel like if you're needing it for a short sprint, like I need to focus on this project for 3 months, that's fine. If I'm just going to up my levels in a permanent way to just be like, I'm going to work more, I don't know if that ever yields the happiness that people think it does. I've never seen it.
It
It is
doesn't.
her dream job though.
Yeah, but define dream though. Like
For her, you don't have to. I mean, it's her dream job. If she wanted to be the VP of sales for an organization, then that's her dream.
But isn't that a question of value system? Isn't that kind of the whole point where it's like the dream job, you get it, and then immediately it means nothing, like instantly.
And the goalpost always moves, and then what?
Yeah, then it's like I want to be CEO, president, I want to be North America, global, and then you get all of those things, and then you have no one around you. Like literally, there's no one left because you haven't invested in a single person.
And your family are old, and you've missed all of those years.
I think it is a real discussion about values for sure, but then values do change with life experience as well. But it seems like they maybe didn't have enough chats about where they saw themselves going, maybe from early on in their relationship. Like, did he understand the type of woman he was getting involved with? Did he know she was very career driven? And if he knew about this being her dream job, then he really needs to suck up on those insecurities, even if it's for that moment, and give her the praise because that's your wife and that was her dream. Like that's not, it's not just a job, it's her dream.
And because he's already saying she's going to be spending more time away from home, he has not even seen her manage those situations. It could be a manageable thing. But because he's preempting, oh, now that means you're going to be, instead of just being happy. The fact that she says, I don't think he's happy for me, that's also really a problem. Sad, and no one is acknowledging that part.
That's
like,
it
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what's happening in that moment. If it's a dream of that person and you crush it, that also brings a fracture in your relationship. No matter how
you're definitely
you
right.
feel.
I always kind of sense that in relationships, because there's like an ideal and how we present what we think should happen. And it's probably really right. But everyone's been in relationships and behaved slightly outside of their values and expectations, because it's kind of like, you just get fed up. Like repeated behavior of like, oh, actually you're not here. And oh, you're not going to be here even more. Now we can all sit there and be like, I'm going to meditate and then take some time. I'm going to come back to you with a question. That's it. Like we can say that, but actually in the moment it's like, again? Like you're late again. All right. And then it's just a bit of energy.
This is not at you, Tanya. It's definitely not.
No, it's Tanya.
Definitely not. At
Tanya's always busy. She's always at her agency with her clients and her influencers that she won't sign me to.
Doing up houses with my interior design company.
That you invented with Nana. So I think what happens is in relationships, the pettiness kicks in and the frustrations override so it's not presented so nice. Yes, it should be presented nice, but it's probably not. It doesn't feel good.
I think we're all saying the same thing. Just communicate.
Yeah. And also I also do think though, like, be happy for your peoples when they're doing well, especially your wife.
Yeah. But it's true.
And then discuss the other stuff.
The context we don't know, and it's true. If it is like a lead up, it could be that trigger point, like the end where she's come to this dream job, but leading up to that, you guys had been in turmoil because she's never around with the kids. Leading up to that, and it's like just the tip of the iceberg. So sometimes you don't control how you react. So I mean, I want to try and give the husband as much grace as I can. I don't know.
I don't think that couple's going to survive.
It doesn't sound great, but
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
action.
Just so you know that we have children in our podcast, because the actual title of our podcast means that we have children and we love them. So they're here with us this half term, so they can come hang out anytime they want. It's actually he's making his debut. He may do the intro for us in the end. So if you see an incredibly cute child doing the introduction, it might get his first paycheck too. We have another one.
Pay for this?
No. My colleague earns more than me. I'll pay him, though. I'll give him some sushi money and put it to the future. I think he's going to make it. Dear Dope Black Dads, I work in the DEI space. I might have some advice on this. I recently discovered that my black male colleague earns more than me, and we have the exact same job and level of experience and education. We started this job as graduates together. I don't know what to do with this information, as he accidentally said it while we were out drinking. I don't want him to get in trouble, but cannot keep silent any longer. Wow.
Wait, who's the DEI expert?
Yeah, so she works in the DEI space. I believe that she's not black, and the person is black, and they started on a grad scheme together. And now
reparations.
And now he earns.
No, for real, we love to see it.
Sorry, I keep lowering the tone of this. I'm gonna stop. This is my last one.
It's like Tourette's, but it's not. So, but at the same time, yes.
Yes, true. We all agree.
We overcharge for slavery.
So she's sorry, she's
So 2 graduates started at the same time. They work in the DEI department. One of them has now found out that the black male earns more than she does. And she found out through a drunken night out and doesn't want to bring it up. And he's also kind of probably not consenting to the idea of it being told because you get in trouble for that type of stuff, even though you shouldn't. And she's saying, what should I do now that she knows that she earns less than him?
Could it be the male tax as opposed to him just being a black guy?
Yeah. Gender and ethnicity pay increase in reverse.
But she didn't mention that part. She didn't mention him being male. She just mentioned him
No.
being...
That's a guy.
Black male.
No, it's okay.
Black guy.
Yeah, but she didn't say, oh, I see.
Well, because she said he's a black male, I assume that she's not a black male. So I just made her the opposite. But we don't actually know for sure.
who
so
she
there's no
is,
reference.
like what her.
But yeah,
So could she be a black woman?
she could be.
I think the big issue here is there's a gender pay gap, and she now knows about it, and she's like, "What do I do?"
HR.
But she also says she doesn't want to get him in trouble.
I feel like you two are here just to shout words out and make us deal with it.
Yeah.
HR.
Drop me an email and I'll write you. Drop me the email and I'll write you the email. Listen, just HR. Yeah, go to your HR. It can be anonymous. It can be anonymous. You don't have to tell them who told you the information. You can just say, "I've heard through the grapevine." Grapevine. That I'm
Yeah,
not
I
being
think
paid fairly.
if it gets out, he will know though.
He'll know, but have a conversation with him first.
Give him a
say,
heads
just
up.
an FYI, I'm about to go to HR. I won't put your name in it, but I will be going forward with this because I don't think it's fair on my behalf. And then do your
It
thing.
does seem like
anonymously.
they are friends as well, because she's like a drunken night out.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want him to get into trouble. Does seem like a
Has
friend.
anyone ever actually found out that someone gets
I
paid
have
more?
found out. I
Oh.
found out
Oh,
that a colleague of mine.
How big was
has
the gap?
been paid more. I can't remember.
Mm.
I just remember the feeling.
Was it enviable? Was it like
yeah.
that's
It
real
was
life
a white.
changing
It
money?
was a white man. So it made me
Everyone's
angry.
favourites.
It made me so angry.
Mm.
Because I was grafting, as we just do in journalism. But you know, when you just see someone coasting, and you're like, nah.
That's when you realize that there are budgets.
No, and I found it's not. He didn't tell me. He printed out his payslip, and then I went to the printer at the same time, because I also printed something out, and I don't know if he forgot, but it was there.
Wow.
So I just remember feeling livid, like livid.
What
I
did
wanted
you
to
do?
set that place up. I was still a junior, so I didn't do anything.
And he was junior.
But he was junior too. But because like it's almost a similar like this one. Started, what did she say? Graduated together or started as graduates?
Yeah.
We started together in an internship program, and he got more.
That is.
So I remember the feeling of like, why am I went through such turmoil of like, am I good enough? Then I went through my education. I was like, was my education not good enough? We went to the same school. Was it my grades? Couldn't have made my grades. Like, and then it was like, because I'm black, because I'm a woman, because I'm this and I'm that. And is it because I say yes to things? And it kind of made me feel a little bit like maybe I shouldn't say yes to things as much. And maybe I shouldn't be so passionate about my job and so vocal. But I didn't do anything. And I still regret not saying anything. But at the time, you're junior. You don't know. You think you're going to get in trouble because it says that in your contract. So yeah.
Did you carry on grafting?
Because of the I did. I enjoyed my job, but I just think it was a bit grey because he didn't show it to me, and I didn't ask for the information, so it was in a neutral space kind of. But yeah, I was just like, can I get into trouble because I actually looked? I saw it was a payslip and I looked rather than just walking away or whatever. So I was just like, it's not worth me getting fired. But yeah, it's horrible.
Has anyone else?
No, I've never been exposed to such information.
That policy should
Definitely
die.
found out that some white male colleagues were on a completely different income to I was. Like it was
different tax bracket.
It was probably almost 50K more.
Oh
Wow.
that's disrespectful.
And when I because the thing is, I got brought in as a consultant, and they couldn't keep me on a consultant because the budget was too much on the budget. So then they tried to get me to go permanent, and then they said that basically to not go to head office and present this, it has to be underneath this particular threshold. So they basically made it like £50 underneath this threshold. And then I was like, and because it was like so like we just please. So I was like, okay, fine. it's fine. I'm only going to be here for 3 more months, but I'll do it. And then they were doing a reorg, and then there was someone who really didn't like the fact that I was there because I was just new and shiny. So they were just like, "Who's this person?" And then they just started like reeling off stuff in a meeting, and then they put their salary out, and we had this basically the same title, and he was more by over 50K.
When you say basically, was it the same title though?
No, it's we both had global titles. We both had leading departments. He was obviously there for much, much longer, but we were on the same level, and I just felt like that level of money was too big.
Got you.
And then I was just offended because you basically begged me so that you didn't have to go to head office rather than like honor. And it made me never trust an organization again.
Same.
Yeah.
So when
Same.
we work with brands on campaigns with our talent, I will do the research and find out what all the other influencers are getting paid to make sure that it's as equal as possible.
And how do you do that research? Do you ask them?
You just know the people?
Yeah, or the managers. Yeah, because I would hate for any of our talent to be on a campaign and they're having a conversation with someone else that's literally on the exact same campaign as them.
And the world is way smaller than you think. It's just incredibly small. So
How often does that happen where you find out that? Does it happen often?
No, it's only happened like a couple of times,
Okay.
but it's easy to rectify. You just shave them up.
The next one is oh wow. My 40th birthday is depressing me. When I first read this, I was like, did I send this in? But that's not true.
I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that.
Yeah. Like I'm okay. I'm okay, Darwood. Thank you. I am a woman approaching her 40s and
You're a
not in a
woman.
good mood. I am a woman. And not in a good headspace. The last 2 months leading up to my birthday has sent me into a deep depression. All the societal pressures of not having a family and being single has broken me, and I don't feel like celebrating myself at this point. I've isolated from family and friends, and being on social media has made it worse. How do I snap out of this hole that I'm in? I fear I will never go back to my old self again. I don't necessarily feel old, just unaccomplished with not much to celebrate.
Oh, babe.
oh, that's sad.
That's heavy.
That hurt my heart, man.
I know.
I'm not gonna lie, that hurt my
sympathise
heart.
with her so much.
Mm.
No, because I just feel like ageism is actually like increasing. Actually, I feel like on social media, there's a lot of that discourse online.
Yeah. How old are you, by the way? Sorry.
I'm 26.
Oh, you're not allowed to say nothing. Just miss you first and foremost. You're not even 30 yet.
That
You're
is
a baby.
that's typical
Is that ageism?
Yeah,
that you
100%.
just
If you want
displayed.
DEI services,
What, saying
please
I'm
come
a
to my
baby?
company. Beloved, we know how to do that. Now, sorry, at the age of 26, what is the milestone that is kind of hitting you, and what is the expectation by that milestone?
That's a very good question. Oh, that is a good question. I think for a lot of people, generally, like women, we want it to be married with kids at 25, which is absolutely insane. Now I'm thinking about it, like insanity. But for me, milestone personally, I mean, I hit a milestone recently, which was buying a property, my first property.
Dope, congratulations.
So
I love this generation just doing things 5 years earlier than everyone else's generation. It's gone.
to be honest, that wasn't actually a milestone for my 20s. That was actually a milestone for my 30s. But the way my life worked out, it just...
Talk, cuz. Oh, you see me, yeah? And yards and that, bruv. Any yards anywhere, bruv. I'm buying it.
Yeah,
Monopoly
just a
on
few
that.
things occurred where it made sense for me to pursue that at this point in my life, basically. But I think for me, maybe I don't like to do the whole by 30, by 35 stuff. I don't like it. But I'd want to be like married by 30.
Yeah.
Is that reasonable? And kids by like latest 32.
Have you got a partner now?
I've got a partner at the moment.
Does he know about these
So I'm
plans?
on track, yes.
Do you want to bring him into this meeting? Because we can...
Absolutely. No, I'm joking.
Now listen, me and Darwood, give
No,
us
he's-
2 hours. We'll have him
He's
fixed.
fully aware of the plan, and
Yeah.
he's actually more on board because he's a little bit older than me. So I think that when you have someone that's a bit older than you as a male, it balances it out a bit as well. Not too much older, but like as in whatever you want to do what you want to do. I ain't judging, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Like it balances it out because you're at a similar time in your life in the male complex versus the woman
Oh,
complex.
wait, I think that was a sly dig.
No,
but we'll
it's
let it
true
go.
though.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Scientifically proven
Yeah,
where.
exactly. No, come on.
You get what I mean?
Come on.
Harvard University.
Okay, so I have a
2022.
question. If that didn't happen, or why are you so fixated on that happening at that age?
I'm not fixated. I'm only answering because you asked. I'm trying not to be fixated. It's an ideal.
Okay.
But if it doesn't, it doesn't, because I've got so many goals that I want to accomplish career-wise.
Yeah.
Um,
What does that look like? What would the trajectory be? Because I think in the presenting world, what is the big moment? Is it? I don't know what the biggest show is now. Is it X Factor, Love Island, and This Morning? I don't know. Sorry, don't watch TV. I couldn't tell you. Sorry.
I'm with Bob on that. Like,
Is
X Factor that big?
Monday Night Football, maybe.
X Factor doesn't
all I watch.
exist anymore.
Okay,
Oh,
cool. I only
seriously?
watch Monday Night Football. So.
Really? I didn't know that.
See, there you go. Look,
I didn't know that.
you educated the room.
Wait, we all thought X Factor still
Yeah.
We don't watch TV, man.
No, but I don't either. Well, I do actually.
Yeah.
I lied. No.
What would
is
be
it
the
then?
pinnacle for a
It's
presenting
like
career?
Love Island and like loads of other shows that they
Married at First Sight.
Oh, Married
Yeah,
at
there's a lot
First
going
Sight.
on. I
Okay.
mean,
What's
I haven't
Married at
watched it,
First
but
Sight?
everyone loves it.
what?
Get into it.
So I only watch football on TV.
Oh, fair enough. It's a great show. You should
I'm
Google
gonna
it
ask for the
after.
fourth time. What's your pinnacle? What's the
Pinnacle.
what would be a step where you feel like, oh, I've arrived?
It's tricky because I don't have that kind of pinnacle moment. I just feel like it's a journey that I still want. That I tick things off as I go, if that makes sense. And I have like my vision board, and it's like there's certain things I'm trying to reach. Maybe when I get there, whether or not I've reached it, if I feel satisfied, I don't know. But like we'll talk about happiness. I know now in my life, like happiness is a complete choice. Nothing else is gonna make me happy. No partner, no job, no nothing, no kids, nothing. Apart from, well, kids might, but you get the gist. You have to still choose it, right? So
And you found this out at 26.
I found out about 25.
I know people that are in their 50s that haven't worked that
yeah,
out.
but I'm a deep thinker. Like I think,
And they're
about-
deep thinkers too.
Fair enough.
They just some people just
I'm
don't know how to
always
work
trying
that
to
out.
discover like the
Yeah.
meaning of life, like in every shape and
Yeah,
form,
same.
and day to day. I'm thinking about
Same.
everything, and I'm always coming up with philosophies. But yes, I think pinnacle would be like award shows, major award shows like Brits and Mobos.
Yeah.
Hosting those type of shows, being able to travel more, go to America maybe for a bit. There's loads of different
So
things.
then how do you feel about people like Clara Amfo and
Amazing.
Yasmin and Yinka Bikini? There's like a batch of really dope women of color who are
They're
presenting
all really
things.
good as well.
Maya,
Yeah.
there's loads. Like how do you look at them? Do you have a relationship with them? Do you have a chance to like learn from them? Or what they're actually doing? Do you feel like that's the pinnacle of what it can be, or do you think there's even more for them?
I think there is more for them. I look at them and I'm heavily inspired. I've got relationships with some of the women in the industry. A lot of them, it might be just more like surface value where I just say hi to them. But they're all amazing. And a lot of what they've accomplished, I'd also want to accomplish at one stage. But also, I'm very much a person that I like believe in hard work. So I'm not here to do this overnight success thing. I want to be in this industry till literally till I go, until I retire. So whatever that looks like, I'll still be doing my hosting or my gigs or my interviews or whatever until I can't do it anymore. I just want to be here to stay. Like any credible presenter online on television, they're there until they go, until they can't be there anymore.
On your vision board, is there moving behind the scenes in there as well?
I've worked behind the scenes. I'm a producer day to day. So I don't want to do that anymore. Well, I do it, but my goal is always in front of the camera. Yeah.
So you just want to enjoy the journey, basically.
Can I ask
do.
the
But
rest of the
That's where the
ladies?
reward is.
100%. But I feel like you answered that woman's question.
Did I? What was
by
her question
saying
again?
what you said with regards to choosing happiness. So I feel like if you're relying on societal standards to be fulfilled and happy, you're not pouring into yourself, and you're not you perhaps don't have a relationship with God.
True. And that's something else that's really strengthened over the last few months. So I feel like I'm in a great space.
I
We
think
love
the
that.
moment, for me, the moment when I realized for certain that children is not necessarily a goal of mine, like a lot of the societal pressures and expectations fell away. It was as if I had freed myself from working towards stuff for my future hypothetical children. The pressure of finding a good partner for my hypothetical children, all of those things in my early 20s I was thinking about. I was dating with that in mind. And I was like, are you going to be a good partner, good husband, good father, etc.? And then I had asked myself, why am I aspiring to these things and why are they so important to me when I didn't make a decision that they are important to me? I'm just assuming that they are going to happen because that's what naturally happens for women. And because I then decided that that's my way of making a decision instead of allowing just life to happen to me, I just felt like I could go into the dating space, into the even just the workspace with a more clear view of what I'm choosing. So because it seems like that person had a list of things that they needed to achieve because by 40 or by 30 or by 35 they should have and they didn't, that's why they end up there in that space of dismay and just in a hole of depression around I haven't achieved anything, when in actual fact she might have. If your 5-year-old self who has no concept of marriage and no concept of relationships and other children or bearing children can look at you and be super proud, then you have accomplished something. If your younger self can look at you, your younger self who's not buying into marriage yet, who's not buying into this big VP or CEO roles yet, if they can look at you and it's like, wow, that's what I'm gonna be. If they can look at you and be proud, you have accomplished something. But because of all of the smoke screens and social media, you just can't see past it. You can't see past other people's achievements because you're measuring it up against yourself. And I try to not measure myself around other people in that way. So I'm not saying she shouldn't have aspired to have a partner or children or whatever, but it does take away a little bit of
I kind of feel like the wife children or partner children marriage thing is like a holy trinity that you cannot talk people out of. Like as all the experiences and the stories that I've listened to of men over the last 7-8 years having these conversations, you still cannot convince anybody that they should do it in a particular way or that they should slow down or that it's actually significantly harder than you ever think it's going to be, and it's actually quite all those things are quite lonely. People don't even realize that those vehicles are not always the warm fuzzy bubble that everyone kind of advertises it to be. So when you say to them that actually you will be tested and stretched in it and it may not be the joyous thing, I think there's like a resistance, like maybe it's the way you did it. And it's like, all right, fine, we'll wait.
It is a very personal thing. I agree with you. I can't go and say, forget about children, man. Just live your life. It's not a decision you can make based off of anyone else's choice.
No, but don't you think there's a part of it where it's like, actually, I want to, like, and I feel like this is something we all should do for each other, is like, if you say go into work, like dedicating your life to your career, I can tell you that would lead you into a dead end. It doesn't get better. Like, I've achieved more from my days of wanting to work in Sainsbury's to now than I could ever imagine. And every single task I've ever wanted to do, I've done. I'm now just living in free floating world where I'm just like, oh, that'll be fun. Let's do this. But I've never been fulfilled by any of those things. I can soundly tell you it doesn't get more fulfilling the higher you go or the more you get. And I have a view on marriage, I have a view on fatherhood, I have a view on relationships. And it's like, at no point does no one listen to each other. So we all just do the same escalator relationship, make the exact same errors, come out of it roughly around about the same amount of time. People get married in their 20s, get divorced before they're 40. It's the same cycle over and over again.
And come up with
and so it's like,
but can I highlight something?
Yeah, sure.
I think everything you said is completely spot on.
But
Because I think about this all the time.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking, and I'm thinking about myself, my own relationship, what I want. But why I think that Holy Trinity will forever stand is because it's somewhat backed by nature. Do you get what I mean? It's some way back. In so many ways, the reason why you're trying to have the kids early as women is usually the biological clock. You get it, right? That's just something that we cannot change. Then you've got the family and marriage. All of that is security. Two-parent household. That is something that most people will want for their children, to try and achieve the best kind of outcome for their child's life as possible. Reproduction, that is literally a part of nature. We need to reproduce to keep the world spinning, to keep the human species continuing. So all of those factors, they're all backed by something that is essential for the world to kind of continue.
But how we do it
That's another question, but
not.
that's why it will forever stand.
Well, I think like I would never say no one not to have children. I think having children has been by far the best experience a human experience I've ever had.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
you.
no, no.
Say, like, is that what you're saying?
No,
right
no, no,
now?
no, no.
Okay.
I'm saying it's the best experience I ever had. The way that you have them and the mentality you approach it with probably needs to be adapted. So I feel we've taken like 1930s ideas, tried to put them in 2024, and then we realize that it's not working and be like, well, why not? And I feel like because we're so intended on going through that process, it's called like an escalator relationship. When you go through it, we're almost sleepwalking through it. Like no one does it intentionally and be like, I'm going to rip this all up and start again and be like, right, maybe actually I want to start a family, but the way I'm going to do a family is like a blended family or it's extended family or it's, you know, a platonic family, but we all look after each other's kids and we're going to get this house and do it together rather than like follow it through with romance. Understand that the dynamic of romance shifts when you have children. Then no one ever is able to, well, many people struggle to transition into that phase of family and co-parenting from a romantic relationship and then go through all the phases of marriage that you're meant to go through to make it all the way. But then also understand it's not just about what you two do, it's about what society does as well. So often there are external pressures of like extended family and work pressures, all these different things that are trying to shape you into following a particular way of existing. So you go through all of these things and then we get to the other end. As we said, you get married at 20, you're divorced by 40. You create this other cycle over and over again. Why don't we just stop and actually design something brand new? And I think that's where, for me, I think we're not being smart about it. And you actually,
But
if
what
you
is
try
the
to
brand
talk,
new?
Yeah,
well, I just think it has to be bespoke. And it's like I don't know what's happening for you, but like, can we talk about what it would look like for you and I to have a child together, have a family? It may not have to be specifically what's pre-written. It could be literally just like, we don't actually want to live together. And if I think about all the stretch points of a relationship and all the feedback we get from people, if you remove some of those, you might just make it. You might just get through it really, really easy. And actually be able to like manage it because you're not living together and you're not waiting for that person to be your romantic equal and be equally yoked. Actually, it's just a conscious coupling for co-parenting, as an example. So like there are many ways to consciously do it, but because everybody does it the same way, if you are outside of that and you're not able to fulfill that, the whole thing just falls apart rather than be like, oh, let's just do it different.
People have been programmed into that a specific model. But the thing is that specific model is on this one size fits them all, and it doesn't, and that's where it's not working.
I do think now the pendulum has swung too far on the other side, where people are consciously making the decision to have a partner with someone that they perhaps don't know, i.e. a sperm donor. And I'm not sure if that's the right way either.
But a lot of people get married and don't know their partners either. And that, because you can date for 2-3 months and then fall in love. Oh, we're going to get married. This guy's the one. This woman's the one. But you don't know each other. Yeah. And what happens is when you're going on the escalator, you're getting to know each other and realizing you really don't like this person.
100%, of course. And that's why the divorce rates are so high. Well, one of the reasons, But you think you know them. Whereas when I don't know, I think it's important to try and have a male figure and a female figure for children.
And this is where I think if you do it to what your personality needs, you will probably have a better success rate in terms of raising that child in a healthier way.
But our personalities need that. We need that masculine and the feminine. We
do, and I'm not saying that we don't. We do, but there is a but. It needs to depend on what your personality is, because you can have a male figure and a female figure, but if one person's super toxic, that child doesn't stand a chance, and they're gonna grow up damaged. And sometimes that damage is not worth doing it. The best thing we can do as parents is try to raise our children with the least amount of trauma as possible, so that they have a chance in their adult lives where they're not having to unpack the difficulties they went through as children, like for the rest of their lives.
So I guess the answer is more so study your partner and understand what each other want and how each other will parent if you were to have children.
That would be the smart way.
Can I say one more thing?
Rather than
That would
being
be the
like,
smart
why
way.
don't we just intentionally buy 2 houses and co-parent? Why don't we instead just understand what each other?
So I think the barrier in that is that one, how many people are turning up to relationships authentically? Like, and I say this in the sense of there's a difference between wanting a husband and wanting to be a wife, as an example. And I think often people arrive saying, I want a husband. And it's this kind of this imagination of, I want this person to be this for me, play this role in my life. I want this type of experience. They don't actually have the understanding or the development to say, I'm desiring to be a wife, and vice versa, by the way. I'm desiring to be a wife, and my vision of being a wife is this. And I have been designed, developed, and understood what it means to be someone's wife, and I'm ready to be someone's wife. So I think often when we're going up, it's two people with lack trying to feel something in each other. And I think the more you listen to people in relationships and how they maybe don't work, you can just hear it. You can hear the fact that I'm slightly incomplete, and I hope that this person gives me the last percentage point so that I can be in this life and be more comfortable. Or I want a man to do these things, or my wife's got to make me a sandwich at midnight. It's just like, it's just kind of this bizarre set of rules and guidelines, which aren't really based on a really good positive experience. Like, it's like, really, if we serve each other, we make it. If I want you to serve me and I'm waiting for you to serve me before I reciprocate, you ain't gonna make it. And I think, like, because the way the how men have been socialized, it's kind of the strong silent request of, like, you do your thing. And it more feels like women are in a position of observing at this time, waiting for men to show up in a way before they commit equally with the same amount of power, because they feel like they've committed so much or for a long period of time and it hasn't come back at them in a powerful way. So that's what the dialogue and request seems to feel like it's about. So I think, like, often now men are raising their hand and being like, hold on a second, this isn't really working for me. We haven't really designed the language or experience of how to respond to that. Like, if a man says, oh, I need more, what does that mean? Like, how do people are people even equipped to respond to that request? Hi, Christine. How you doing?
Hello.
What's going on?
How are you? How's everybody?
All right.
Welcome, first and foremost. Thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about you being on time?
No, first of all, I was in the green room.
I know, but
for a long time. I was actually there.
No, but we
For a while.
started at 4:20, you know. So what I'm saying is,
When you talk to Tom, you can ask him.
Tom's my guy, you know.
You can ask him.
He's
when
on
I
my
get here.
team. But welcome so much. Thank you for coming.
Of course, thank you.
Can you tell us a bit more about your company? Because I really do like your company. I ran into one of your business partners in Cannes. I cannot remember her name right now. Ruby.
Yeah.
And it was so nice that it was just like, oh, you're here. How are you doing? Tell us more about your company, please.
Yeah, so we have an agency called Vamp, 3 co-founders, 3 black women who came together at uni and decided to start an agency that serves black talent. So we kind of started off as an influencer market. No, we started off as a talent agency. Obviously, you know, when it was booming to represent talent. And obviously the industry changed a bit. So we've gone into kind of film and TV PR, also gone into entertainment marketing, but our whole thing is basically black culture and cultural marketing. So we've been doing that for 7 years.
What do the three of you do that's different while you don't hate each other and set fire to your, like a podcast? Like, why is it not the Joe Budden podcast? Or
That's so interesting. I think it's because we knew each other before the money and the.
Oh, she said the money. Wait a second. Talk about it. Talk about it.
It's true. Like, when you know people before money and you build something not based off money, you build it off like a purpose. I think that's when you kind of, I don't know, it's more real. Yeah. Like, even with fasting, we're gonna fast tomorrow as a team. Like, we do stuff together. Like,
That's it.
you know.
So how do you separate labor? Who does what? Who do I go to for representation and that? Like, there's bare talent managers on this table and no one's asked the talent.
But I'm not the right space or not to be asking questions like that.
The way you've gone meek here is like, Marvin, no way.
Nah, it's ageism. They don't like older people.
I'm 27.
Can we do introduction? Because I don't really know everybody.
No. We're gonna get. Don't worry. We're gonna get to that.
Okay. So I'm entertainment marketing director, entertainment director. So I do podcasts. Built a podcast called Pressed.
Sick. I know that one. Yeah.
And then I do like music marketing, and we do a lot of different things. And then Ruby does PR, and that's on film and TV. So all the red carpet stuff, that's her. then Rumbi is a talent manager, so she manages the talent.
That's dope. Okay.
Yeah.
Does anyone want to introduce himself for the person that turned up a little bit later than everybody else?
No, I just want to clear my name. I've been out there sitting there for time. I thought that I was coming in like after.
Don't worry, I was late too.
And she got the same treatment.
It's universal. We're very big on equality here. We always
That's
talk to you
really
out
good.
of the same side of our mouth to everybody.
I love the conversation though. It was I was really engaged.
Thanks. We've got a couple of questions for you as well. Don't worry, we're coming. Does anyone want to say who they are and where they're coming from? What's the name of your organisation, Tanya? You didn't actually say.
Guardia Global.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Guardia.
Ghana and India together.
Oh.
Are you half
I
Ghanaian?
like the innovation.
We are the
happening
world.
Are you,
I love
Are
that.
you Ghanaian as well?
No,
Oh.
I'm Indian. I started it with a Ghanaian girl.
That's dope.
Nice.
I'm
You
Tanya.
want to represent my son? He's half Ghanaian.
Mr. Selling.
And he's
I love
hella
it.
cute.
Everyone's looking for representation, which I think is by far the worst way to try and get representation. Never ask. If you ask, it's not
Yeah,
going to
it's
happen.
long, innit?
And I have
Do you
like a
think?
thing about
Yeah.
representation as well.
Go on, what's the
Oh,
thing?
what is
I
it?
just think that there's a lot of people who could be represented by friends and family before you go to big companies. Like I
She
even
called herself a
train-
big company. I like this.
Oh wait, no, I'm not even.
Hold on a
No,
second.
no, talk the talk. Talk the talk. Talk the talk.
She said money and big company. Let me continue. Sorry, I interrupt you
Guess
again.
me, I love
Sorry.
it. No, because I've had friends who have siblings or friends who are talent, and I've kind of either trained them or given them the tools to manage them. Because I'm just like, they will come to me and be like, "Can you manage my sister?" And I'm like, "Do you really want me to take 20% of your sister right now?"
Yeah.
I was like, "You can do that, and you can take 20%. Let's stay in the family, grow, develop. I'll help. When it gets to that point, then we can talk about it." I just think that sometimes, I just believe that people sometimes search for things that they probably could do themselves or within
They just
the
want to
family.
say I have a
Yeah,
manager.
and if I was like someone who was very like money motivated or kind of greedy, I'd be like, come to me. But I just genuinely feel like for the community and what we're building in the community, like so much could stay in before you try and go out.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
But not everyone has a you.
not fair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you like them bars.
She was like, yeah, that's true. That's
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say I feel like there's so many resources out there for people to research and learn about talent management. Literally, it's glorified admin. Come on.
Yeah.
Literally, when we started, who
And
were
it's
we?
not
We called
glorified admin,
Universal.
it's
We didn't
know-how.
even know them.
It's know-how as well. Because
Yeah.
you've been doing it 7 years. That's
Yeah.
experience. You've been learning
Guess
as
it's
you've
the
been
network
going
as
along.
well. Who you can,
Yeah. Like even how you
too.
divided up the roles, how you explain it, that was so concise.
Yeah.
Like you start doing stuff.
Thank you. I just feel like there's so many people out there that can just do more if they just research.
Yeah. Google us.
It's a nice way of saying no to talent.
No.
basically.
Have you tried Google?
That's my thing. If you know me, all my friends say all I do is Google things all the time.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
for me.
We all do.
Yeah.
Lalia, who are you and what do you do? Do you have a
I'm
mental
Lalita.
health organization, right?
I do. So I have a social enterprise for women.
Mm.
We help them rediscover self-worth by building up their mental well-being. And we have a digital platform, online community, offline community. So I host events as well. And I've got a podcast too. And then I work with a network of psychologists and therapists and all the fanciest. Just to kind of, help women. So
Nice.
that's
Would you
my
invite me
tech.
in your podcast then? Because it's weird if not.
I mean, you put on a wig, yes.
Oh, it's
can
one
put
of
on a
those
wig.
ones.
Women.
I've got one.
I
Just-
can
just
put on
know
a
what,
wig, but I
actually,
won't
I
shave
put
my
behind-
beard.
No, I have thought
But
about
I'll
that
put on
though.
the wig.
No, if you
I
look
have
behind
thought
me,
about that,
what does
no.
it say?
Hear me
It's
out.
awkward.
Hear me out.
Yeah, go on.
I have thought about this,
Mhm.
and I've been asked by a couple of men to go on the podcast.
We like to
and
talk about stuff.
I would like to start inviting men on, just because I would like to get their perspective on things that obviously women can only give a certain side of the story. So I would like to get a male perspective as well. So especially with things like dating or supporting a partner with mental health and stuff like that, I would like to get the other side's perspective. So yes, I would love to have you on
Who
the
better than the
podcast.
person that changed your nappies? Huh?
You didn't change my nappies.
Yeah, but it's a
man.
great story. Leave it alone.
He's trying to force this. Marvin is my cousin, and he's really
So
trying to
funny.
push
Oh,
this.
beautiful segue.
yeah.
He's trying to push.
We're
this
not quite
so
old
bad.
enough to have done it, but I feel like I would have if
No,
I knew
he's
what I
making
was
up
doing at
rumors.
7.
It never happened. You're
Alright,
lying.
cool. It's fine.
Oh, yeah,
It's only 7 years apart. It's fine. And Darwood, who are you and why are you here?
I am Darwood. I am a father of 2.
One of them's over there.
Yeah.
Looky.
He's going to be your future. You better give him all your inheritance, bro. You better work on that kid, because he's going to be a star.
And he's got the good energy, like the.
Even when he was like,
charisma
"Where's
with
my
it as
dad?"
well. He's like, "What's your name?" I said,
What's his name?
Nelly?
Luke.
You need to call him like Luke the First or something. Just add energy for no reason.
I'm
call him
actually calling
Lukey.
Luke the Great.
He is the energy.
Great, I like that.
Oh, Luke the Great.
Yeah.
Love that.
I'm an artist, and I am the best way I can describe what I do. I am the closest I've ever been to my 5-year-old self presently.
That's
So,
amazing.
I loved it in the church. So I'm with you, man. Yeah.
Like
Stay there.
I feel like I was 5, and then I went on this weird tangent, and I've come back to thing. And if my 5-year-olds, you were saying it earlier. Oh no, Ro was saying it. That if my 5-year-old self met me now, he'd be really proud.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Do you think having children has helped you?
It jogged certain memories because every time they've hit certain ages, I can remember what I was thinking at those ages. So yeah,
That's the best. There's like, and obviously you've done this already, but I find sort of 8+. Now my son's 8. I just see myself all the time.
yeah.
And like the hugs I give him are so absurd. They're just like, "You're gonna make it, son. You really are because you've got all the tools." My son's like captain of the football team, and so his team got disbanded on the last game of the season, and he was really sad. So I had to talk him through it, and I coached him through it, and he was like, "No, you're right. Actually, we'll go to a new team and work our way." And I was like, "Oh my god."
But think about it. Like you didn't have anyone doing that for you.
Yeah, I know.
And he's like he's already ahead.
Ah, no, that guy, he's coming to save us, or at least save me. That's all I know.
Yeah.
I can retire at 55 because I think he's gonna be
Like my oldest son, I see. It's weird because I do it with him, and when my oldest son was like 3 or 4, I thought, yeah, let me give him some confidence by helping him make decisions. So which trainers go with this outfit, blah blah blah. Like just telling him to give me advice. And I don't remember when it switched over where I actually weren't doing it for his confidence. I was like, actually, I need your genuine opinion.
Yeah, that's not my goddaughter. That's not my goddaughter. Sometimes I just call her and I'm just like, oh, it's like, what do you think?
Yeah. What's happening outside for people your age? What do you?
Exactly.
Yeah. Like my
What's
nephew
cool
was
is
just
you
like, Central C's not cool anymore. I was like, how? I just found him. Can he be cool for a bit longer? I just.
It's cool.
You know, I'm not
Yes
gonna
and
lie.
no.
I've stopped trying to keep up with the youths. I'm just like, whatever
Trust me.
reaches me, reaches me.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm saying, I don't even know who that person is that you just said.
yeah, I know who
Oh,
Central
yeah.
C is.
Central C.
Yeah,
I
I know
have
who
no
Central.
idea. Like, you
But
said a couple
that's because I
names
sit in
throughout
Kareem's
this podcast, I'm
car
like, I
when
don't
he's driving and I'm listening to his music, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then after about an hour of like pure trap music, I'm like, yo, change the frequency.
Yeah, I know. I tried to listen to Future's new album, and I was like, "This is my peak. I'm out. I'm out.
Yeah.
Thank you very much."
I kind of like. Oh,
Yeah, I
It's-
like it.
It's a
as
good
well.
album. It's a good album. No, it's a good album. But I know that I've sat through it twice, and I don't need to sit through it again.
fair enough.
Much prefer Beyonce, true artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
And him and you,
like Terry
music.
Exodus. And I'll hold on. Real far down.
Who was that?
down,
Who was
down,
doing that?
down.
But you know what? I'm not gonna lie.
That was pretty good.
I'm glad she's actually done this because I could always hear that country twang in her
She's
voice.
very country.
It's actually a very
Yeah.
good album, but you know,
From
it's a lot.
Houston.
Music. So,
Just
who are you?
before I introduce myself, you know this stage of being a 5-year-old again.
Yeah,
What did that like? Did that take a lot of inner work?
yeah,
Can you unpack it for me after?
yeah. I can unpack it for
Can you
you
think
now.
of 5 things you did to get to that point?
I remembered who I was.
100%.
Remembered who I was.
Can we
She
just do,
felt that.
can we do the
Click,
spiritual?
click,
that.
click.
Incense, Tom. Can we get incense?
The
I
spiritual.
can't remember my young days at all. Like, I was speaking
so
about it with my friends.
It's
like,
a whole piece of work. I think it's worth telling us what the journey you've been on because it is a real piece of work.
Yeah.
And even I remembered. I don't remember 8 till 15 at all. I
Someone
remember
told
nothing.
me that they remember when they were born.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I've met
the-
people
I
that,
don't know about that.
and I know people that remember when they was in the womb.
What?
Yeah, me
That's
too.
different. Come on.
But not,
They
but,
do,
but
they
that
do.
takes
Why are you
work. You
remembering?
can't just remember
And
that.
mushrooms.
That takes work.
No, they
Goodness
remember.
sake.
Ayahuasca.
That's
Ayahuasca.
the one. That's
Yeah.
the one.
Yeah.
That's
They-
the
they-
one.
So go on, Darwin.
But
What
you
was
know,
the
when
journey?
we don't remember certain years of our life, that's a trauma response.
That is, yeah. Your brain's
Shut down.
protecting you.
Yeah.
Well, age 6,
Just what I
I
forgot.
was a little bit of a tearaway in school, misbehaving, and that. I'm Yoruba, so like at home, I was this really well-behaved child, and at school, I was a tearaway. I would swear F blinding and blah blah blah. So I was a little bit of a shit, and a teacher discouraged me from doing art. And instead of my young brain to go fuck the teacher, I said fuck art, and then I avoided being creative all the way through. I started excelling at maths, sciences. I was going to be a doctor, and then I hit like 16 going into college, and my spirit just went, nope, we are not doing that. And I literally could not get out of bed some days. and I weren't depressed. I just could not force myself to go college, and then I ended up acting, doing little bits here, then writing poetry, performing it, but never calling myself an artist or creative and whatnot. And I avoided it. And then up until lockdown, I told my older son, I goes, you should always honour the kid that you were. And he goes, yeah, Dad, you should take your own advice. And I was like, oh yeah. And then I just went back and then realised where the disconnect had happened. And then I taught myself how to draw. Like, I literally, through lockdown, I put myself through like a university course of painting, drawing, like learning all the fundamentals. And and I started admitting that to people that I'm actually an artist. And that, so
you need to package all of that and sell it to me, because I'll buy it, like literally all the steps, all the tips.
Cool.
Because I'm on that journey. So yeah, I'm happy you're there though. It's amazing.
Cheers.
It's very
Cheers.
inspiring.
Cheers.
I'm Em Lavontel, Musique Lavontel, presenter and a producer. Recently stepped down from working full time as a producer to chase my dreams.
Congrats.
Sounds so cliche.
Incense, come on. Incense.
Yeah, just bought a house, so
Congrats.
achieved that, and I'm just going for it. That's it.
Cool. So we have been
And who are
doing-
you, Marvin?
I'm Marvin Harrison, the founder of Dope Bad Dads. I'm also the founder of Beloved. I'm also friend and father and lover, depending who's asking. You know.
Come on now.
Hey! Sorry, I'm playing. I'm joking. So we did this thing with Google search. And so we found out that 64% of our audience is actually women, mostly mothers. And so we started to try to understand what it is that they wanted from us. So we did this thing of Google search, and it led us to this question: why do men, being one of the most searched things on Google? Took what came up, and then we're going to ask you, and you have to tell us why you think this is so. And then I have the formal answer here by Grace and Government. Okay? So the first one is, why do men have beards? Can anyone?
Keep warm.
To keep warm. Okay. Anyone else?
For their own vanity.
Yeah,
For vanity.
that's what I think too.
Sign of virility.
Virility.
And
Sign of masculinity.
yeah.
Masculinity.
But it actually is to keep warm, though.
So it's interesting because there's a parts of right of everything. So we produce testosterone, it comes out in that way in our face. And it is a part of it is a mating ritual. So it's like a thing for like virility, and like we are masculine men and it attracts women. There is an element of keeping it warm. But that's not actually biologically true. It's like what do you call it? It's just said, because you don't need to keep this particular part of your face warm. But then they said that the reason why it grows around your lip is that it's meant to bring attraction to your lip, so that when you're talking, when men speak.
Oh, is it? Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Can I ask a question about? This
Go on.
doesn't sound bad. Obviously,
Nah, we can say
you know
better
your
questions.
vagine, your women's private area.
Yes.
The hair that grows there.
Yeah.
That's to protect the area,
There's
right?
a relationship. Do you see what we did?
No, Marvin, no.
There should be a relationship, though. I know he's your cousin, but there should be a relationship between this
For
hair and
all
that hair.
logic and God's sake,
What do you
never
mean?
say that again in that way. That was
Guys, I'm
weird.
lost.
Yeah, wait, I'm confused. Why?
Yeah, what did you mean?
I'm lost.
Oh, what? Because of what I was saying.
No, about the connect. Actually, yes,
Oh.
yes. What you were saying. Yeah.
Go on, Marvin,
No.
explain.
Someone should braid this hair with that hair.
Anyway, so that's that one. The next one is
The 5-year-old coming out in
Gonna
Darwin
interpret
right now.
that in my own way.
That's the 5-year-old that has no filter.
Yeah, baby.
I have contracts with organizations that may not find this funny, so
Okay,
I would like to keep them.
Alright.
Thanks. There's a trend on TikTok. If you go on TikTok and say, ask apparently European men, what do they think? How many times do they think of the Roman Empire? Apparently European men think of the Roman Empire like 2-3 times a day.
That is
Which is,
wild.
I was literally talking about this the other day, and it is so strange. And we were trying to work out what the female Roman Empire is. What is it?
This has been like
The
all over
to-do list.
TikTok and Instagram, isn't it? Like, my Roman Empire is...
And you know,
Whatever TV
it's
show.
actually legit. I've asked men that aren't even on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're like, twice a day? I'm like, what?
They think about the Roman Empire. Why?
It's a vast empire of white supremacy.
Is
It's
it
the beginning
white
of white
men?
supremacy.
So you said white men are the ones that think about it.
European men specifically,
I
because I,
didn't
think it's
realise
just
it was just European men. I thought
if you say it to
said-
black men, they're like, what?
Yeah, what does it say?
It's like, we don't know about that. What's I gonna say to you? But basically, the Roman Empire is apparently what we call the church now. So it evolved into the church. And so it's still very much about us, but also it is the pinnacle of white supremacy. It's like all the ideas of whiteness are rolled up into that empire. And it dominated pretty much, I think it's like a third of the world or something.
You know the
So
funniest thing,
maybe-
the version of Jesus that everyone sees.
Whoa, did you air quotes?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Go on.
It's true, though.
Is an Italian prince from the Medici family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Yes.
thought you were going to say that he was white, and obviously he's not white.
Well, because he is if he's from the Medici family,
Yeah,
but the
he's
real,
Italian.
yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
We're getting into stuff, aren't we? We shouldn't really.
Why?
But no,
Yeah,
but
political.
it's not even a thing.
So-
But
so-
that's how much
No, so really-
power the Vatican had back then.
Not now.
Well, I do
but
think-
the point is, for Dope Bad Dads, we said we're not allowed to debate religion because it's
Yeah.
everyone's personal computer because
Okay,
it just
fine.
gets long.
Okay, fine. Yeah. Jesus
So
Christ,
that weren't
it was
that
like
weren't
that.
about religion. It was just
Okay.
basically
A little bit.
how much. No, sorry.
You said you just made up their Messiah as an Italian guy who was a part of the
No,
richest,
the
most
image,
successful
the
family.
image, the
The
image, the
image
image,
of
the image of
Jesus.
Jesus.
Oh, the image of
The
okay,
image,
cool.
not
Which-
Jesus.
All
The
right.
image of Jesus.
Oh,
great
okay.
save, yeah.
Yeah, so the
okay.
long
Yeah.
hair
It's got the long
with the
hair.
beard,
Okay, cool.
that handsome guy.
Yeah, that's why I was on the defensive. I was
Yeah.
doing octopus work. I was like, wait, no.
Yeah.
But now I get it. That makes sense.
Okay, so I guess if white men think about the Roman Empire that often, is that because white supremacy is that ingrained
Yeah.
that it's just carried on for generation
But
after
why would they
generation?
think of this
I
thing?
just think
That's
that-
where I'm
because
at.
it's so ingrained in their subconscious from generations and generations of
I
their man
just-
doing their bad man shit.
I think men in general, all types of men, want power,
careful.
respect,
All right.
money,
It's all right.
women, everything. So I feel like with a white man, European man, their pinnacle is the Roman Empire because I feel
What's a
like
black
those
man's?
exactly, and I feel like rappers. That's what it is.
Hey,
Yeah.
why was
So
such a
and,
low
no,
bar?
and it's not a low bar.
Such a
No,
low
Jay-Z.
bar.
No, because
Caesar versus Jay-Z.
no,
Matic.
but it's true. But like, if
Rappers.
yeah, certain rappers, I'm talking about people like Jay-Z. People obviously we can't do Diddy anymore because you know what he's doing. But people
What's
who have
Diddy
managed
doing?
to just get to a level of fame, respect, money. I don't think it's got nothing. I don't like the way people try and say rappers are like low grade. They're not.
They
For
are.
them
No,
to
in
get from
comparison
the
to the
hood-
Roman Empire,
I
they
know.
built roads.
I know, not all of them.
rappers
Not all of them.
doing?
Some
They're
people
making
came from
women
poverty
shake
and
asses
are
on beach
billionaires
roads.
right now. So I
No,
don't agree with
we
that.
like that, but
Yeah.
I think
get what
it's
you're
it's
saying.
a
Yeah.
rare
Yeah, I get what you're
story,
saying.
and it's an interesting because I don't think we have access to our history to know our version of the Roman
Yeah.
Empire in the same way. We know about Mansa Musa,
Yeah.
but we don't know enough about it in detail, and I think that's why they think
we
about
should
it
be
because it's
thinking about
taught
the Egyptians.
really well. Well, I think Egyptians has been whitewashed to be
Yeah, because they don't even
a non-black
wanna
story,
say
really.
that.
No, they
Cleopatra's
did
black.
that
Kemet.
really smartly, but like if you
No,
know,
that's what I'm saying. We know, but I'm saying if you sit in class,
Yeah.
it's literally like people that look like your dad did this. And there's like months of the Roman Empire of history in school. And like black history is like a couple of days and a little bit of a misinformation.
but you know,
so-
you get Egyptians trying to say that it's not the black story.
Yeah,
either.
apparently Cleopatra's
of
not
course.
And
black.
whatnot.
All this
And
kind of
I'm
stuff.
like, no, Arabs came there.
Yeah, later. So that's
it's
something
fine.
they think of. I think we kind of covered it to be fair. But ooh,
mad.
the next one they had is
So did
why
they not give a reason why they think of it, like for sure?
I kind of gave it. It's because it's literally because of that, as a symbol of hope that they can have
One
a
day.
lasting legacy. It's from the professor of psychology.
And you know in Asia, you know in the Asian Empire, you know like Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it apparently
Genghis.
like Genghis. Apparently like loads of women had his kids. So
Yeah.
apparently there's bare people who are.
His
basically-
DNA is in like
Right.
a third of the population.
Yeah,
in
it's like
Asia.
thousands of women had his kids.
I
So do
don't
you think
even know it's
people want to
possible.
be him in maybe in Asia? Like
I don't. I'm good. I have two and I retired. So the next one was why do men die before women?
Because you do weird stuff, then.
Define
No,
weird.
because women
Just
stress
doing
us.
the-
No,
Sir. Sir.
I think we made a lot of jokes today that this episode might not make it out.
we did. No,
I love you, man.
That was blessed. No, you guys just do a lot. Like labour, physical stuff. You do more physical stuff than most women do. Majority of construction jobs are men. So like you guys just do a lot of stuff.
But
Also
aren't
on
their
the flip side of
biological
it.
makeups like fit for that?
Fit for that, correct? Yeah. But like over a long period of time, especially like they're now moving back their retirement age. From like, oh, we can retire at like 65. Psych, you can retire at 90. Like they're moving stuff back over and over and over again to the point where it's like you can't even retire anymore to relax. It's like now you just got to work until you die. So it's like you're dying quicker.
Any other reasons? Why do men die before women?
Why do men die before women?
I think a lot of I don't know, more on your point in terms of them doing more labour intensive stuff.
Do you think
and
it's
more
that?
risk. And when also there's a lot of like male suicide as well. So that's
Yeah.
a big factor too. And I think a lot of men take a lot on their head top and they don't say a lot
Yeah,
of things.
I do think it is stress, not necessarily just from women, but
that was a joke.
It's
It
love.
was a
It's
joke.
love.
Tanya has to advocate for the humanity in it.
Yeah,
just
no,
to be clear.
listen,
we need one
as I
adult.
said on the thing previously, the women in my life are really good. They do not stress me like at all.
What
And
about back in the day?
Nah, not really.
Sorry, I didn't mean to
Do you
kiss my
not really
teeth.
get stressed though? Because some people just don't get stressed. They're just very
I don't
good
really.
at
Yeah,
regulating
I
their
don't. I
emotions.
don't get stressed, but I don't let people bring stress to me.
Yeah,
either.
right there.
Like I kind of just like, yeah, no.
Yeah, so you're gonna not die young. You're gonna
Yeah.
probably live
Hopefully.
really, really long.
I
I'm
wanna-
97 now.
Yeah.
So,
I thought, really?
Wow.
yeah, got a few.
Yeah, good.
The amount of oil on your beard is spectacular, my guy.
cheers.
It's glistening.
Glistening right
Is that
Um,
keeping you warm?
So the
oil?
formal reason is biology is a factor. The female sex hormone estrogen is protective of the cardiovascular disease.
That
And it's
makes
partly
sense if they're
responsible for the
giving
lower
birth.
incidence of such disease in women up until menopause. And male sex hormone testosterone is higher and associated with doing things of higher risk.
Yeah, I think it's
Listen, people-
definitely
people don't
just the
realise.
balance of probabilities of like the risk rather than their body being able to sustain the amount of work they're doing. I think a man's body can sustain it until.
I
just think it's just the risk of he might be falling off a building tomorrow or something
Yeah,
silly like
that's
that.
You said that very casually.
Whereas
So
women don't have that risk as much.
You know,
that's
it's
all I
the,
think
I
it
used to
is.
work in construction, and literally every day was like for about 5 years. Every day was don't die today. No, it's
That's the
Imagine the
mandate.
guys in the mines
seriously,
as well.
Scary.
it's serious.
Yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
they're forever giving you safety things to the point they're like, if you don't feel safe, just stop working. Like they're literally promoting that, and that only started in like 1973, and it only started getting really implemented in the last like 15 years, like
Yeah.
properly.
Because when you go to like, what country was I in? I think I was in Nigeria, but I was in like the village, and the way people are working on construction, yeah, this kid was literally building something with his legs on each pole, building stuff. I was thinking like, that is a big risk,
But
and
look
that's
how
the way.
many people died in Qatar built for the World
Yeah.
Cup.
And also, I think off
Really?
the
How many? Loads.
Like thousands.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But off the back of that, I think it's also like the competitive nature of men as well.
Yeah.
Of them wanting to do
Just
things of
over
higher
1,000.
risk
Trying
to
to remember the
compete with
exact
men
yeah.
in that sense too, which is natural.
I don't think people realize how much of like testosterone just says, go on then. It's like
Yeah.
they don't
Yeah.
understand. You just going about your day and it's like, should I just do that? Go on
Yeah.
then.
Is that why men cheat?
That's what I'm saying. You guys do weird stuff.
that just-
So the next one.
No, but is that? I think that's just ego.
Men don't cheat, by the way.
That's just ego.
Yeah, well,
Huh?
black men
That's
don't
just
cheat.
ego.
No, that's not ego.
I think ego and
ego.
testosterone
You-
are
this,
the
so
same
this,
thing.
this is literally
you?
this is literally an occurrence here. It's like inside you there
It's
is like
ego.
a
It's male
bubbling
ego.
machine just says, go on then, do it.
That's male ego.
That's not
Nah,
ego.
if
Ego
no
and
one, if no one's
testosterone
around
are like
and
this.
you see something
Yo.
you want to jump, you will just go
Go on
on,
then.
in. Like, you literally like that. Go on then is real.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. You guys do weird stuff. I saw some.
Yeah, but it's
I saw a
testosterone.
video of these two guys in their house, and one
Right.
they had like in their living room. They've got like a balcony-styled wall, and there's like a big hole in it. One's got two ropes through the hole. The other one's holding onto it, and then he's pulling himself up with it, and his friend's like, "Come on, man, you can do it!" And he's like,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, go. And I'm like, that's why you guys die.
Yeah.
'Cause
That
you do
sounds
stuff
like fun.
that. And then
And
you
something
get
else that sounds
But
like
I
go on
also
then.
think men stay in their child state longer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You do.
forever.
Women grow up and they're like, oh my, why don't you mature? And you're like, mature for what? For
It's
who?
because we're told that we have to.
No,
We
but
are-
By
I
who?
also
By
think
who?
it's physical
because
as
we
well
are-
because
yeah.
you lot start like
We are caregivers.
Yeah, and because we have more
Who
responsibility.
told you to grow
We
up?
do.
Who is that person?
When
It's not men because we're just vibing.
society.
Society is of who?
Society in the sense that women have more responsibilities as they
We're-
grow up. If they're then becoming mothers, we are.
But
come on.
who's telling you to do that though? Because it's not men telling you to do that, is it?
when is the
My dad
average
did,
age women
so,
start
yeah,
having
men are telling
periods?
me.
around
Yeah,
12.
and it is that
Yeah,
that
men's
natural-
voices don't change till like
Yeah.
14, 15.
So yeah, our chemistry is very different.
Yeah.
So we'll go through like menstruation cycle up until a certain number, changes depending on the woman, and then we'll go into menopause.
But that's why I think women
That's
mature
why we're
faster
different.
because
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the physical side of things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we have two more. Why do men have nipples?
actually
That's
Good
the,
question.
I'm
Actually,
writing a
you know
book.
this.
No, I'm actually writing a book, and the first it's the Gospel according to Black Jesus, and the first chapter is did Adam have nipples, and if yes, why?
Wow.
That is a serious.
Because there must be a reason.
What's
Because
the
every
answer?
No, I don't
part
know
of
the
our body
answer to
serves
this,
a
but I can't
purpose. But
remember.
what is the purpose?
But basically, from what I remember, when you're when the sperm meets the egg and the baby fetus starts developing, it can go either way for male or female.
Oh, that's a good point.
So therefore, that's why women have clitorises, because they're little willies.
Yeah.
And these.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
that's what I remember.
Really?
That
I don't
makes
know.
sense. That makes so much sense.
Steve Harvey, is it true?
It is, but I wish we would use like the scientific terms for things.
What is it?
Little willies?
Oh, right.
Clitoris? Is that
No,
the
no,
scientific
No,
You
that
said
was
willies.
fine, but you said
It
willies.
is a little willy.
Oh, okay.
It can go either way.
It can go either way, and
Oh,
that's
I
why
think-
they're so sensitive.
All right.
Sorry.
That's why you
Everyone's
have to
discovering
braid,
for the first time.
you
I
have
was
to
like,
braid the bed.
Summer skin roll. Oh, God, there we go.
Is that the reason? Is that
Yeah.
what it says?
No, it says males have nipples because the way the embryos develop in the initial weeks after gestation. Those eventually born female and male are the same sex until chromosomes are defined, which doesn't happen until week 6 or 7 of pregnancy. Nipples begin to develop before that time.
Makes sense.
So it's just like underdeveloped women's breasts, which makes sense.
Have
Because
you
they
ever
have no
milked
function.
yourself?
No.
Have you ever what? What did you ask?
You ever milked yourself?
That's funny.
That's strange.
You walked into that. That was funny.
I didn't even walk into it. I was trying to keep it clean. Now I'm scared to do the last one because clearly this is going to be absurdity. But we've got 6 minutes left. I have nothing else to say apart from this last one.
What is the last one?
Can we hold it together for this last one?
Yes, please.
Thanks, because I want to get out
apologise.
clean.
I apologize.
Our sponsors. Why do men have morning erections?
Oh, an increase of testosterone during your sleep.
Oh, anyone else?
Is that the reason?
I don't know.
You've Googled that before, haven't you?
No, I know things happen in my brain. Stuff happens upstairs. I broke Marvin.
My internals exploded as I said
I've never known the reason for this. Even when I'm trying to tell women, like, it's not even that we're horny. We
No,
just
you can't
wake
help
up with
it.
them.
It's a physical reaction. You can't help it, like at all.
Anyone else got any other ideas?
I don't know. I just thought it was wet dreams.
Oh.
Blood.
Wet dreams.
Just thought it was me. I'm
Did you
joking.
say
Hey, high
blood
five.
rushing? What did you say, sorry?
Don't know.
She thought it was her.
Just happy to see you.
I don't know why you's expecting why men on a panel of women that are all bosses to be a serious topic.
I try to do my part, okay? And everyone else understands what happened afterwards. But, you know. The formal reason is in REM sleep, the deepest sleep stage in the cycle, the body's parasympathetic. Oh my God. Someone's been reading. Parasympathetic nervous system is activated. The system is responsible for rest and relaxation, opposed to the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response. This nervous system is also activated during sexual arousal. While men are in REM sleep, they can experience spikes in hormones, which can trigger for nocturnal erections. Together, the parasympathetic nervous system, the male reproductive system, the REM sleep will all affect a man's likelihood to have nocturnal erections. I'm going to stop speaking now because there's a lot of words in there.
Essentially, what happens is when you go to sleep, your brain goes into REM sleep, which is the deepest stage of sleep you can go into, and then depending on what happens, but majority of the time it happens at nighttime, you have an increase of adrenaline, so norepinephrine in your body, and then that's what spikes that happy thing.
Okay, got you.
Really good.
So what happens to us?
I mean, some women get wet.
Really?
I'm trying to be respectful of your sponsors.
No, they're
but
gone. They've left.
They
They're
left.
somewhere else.
They said, "Oh God."
They're sponsoring another one now.
It's not the same for us. We don't have the same kind of thing for men.
Is
That's
that why
a shame.
women
We're
live
just
longer
built
and
different.
women are more unhappy than men?
We're really just built different.
Do you think women are more unhappy than men?
No. Just trying to
Trying to
think
distract
people-
from the reality of what I just heard.
yeah.
I don't know if I could call my mum after this and have a long conversation about our family dynamics and what's going on. That was really interesting, actually. There's a lot of things I think when you think about why do men do stuff, we always go into quite interesting commentary about each other, which is kind of like poking fun of each other. Like, why are you so simple and women do this? And but when you find out the formal definition, you're just like, actually, it's just biology and it makes me do it. Then I can reduce my accountability and do what I want. But I think the most important thing is... No, I think the most
We've
important thing is
infected him.
is just really trying to understand each other a bit better. We never really do it.
Yeah.
We don't really have a platform to have a healthy conversation about why things happen for us. Like the way that some of my friends and family members talk about periods, and it's like what happens for them in that time. I'm like, this sounds like something that should be investigated. People need to invest money in it.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you just
People
completely
say-
are a different person?
People say because it doesn't happen to men, that's why it's
Yeah.
not heavily
Yeah.
looked into. Like, yeah, that's what they say.
If that happened to men, there would be a complete change in the world. We'd have those days off. There'd be days off work.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And we'd get paid for those days.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, in some Arab countries, when the men's wives are on their cycle, the men get days off so that they can look after their wives.
So in Rastafarian culture as well, they have a massive thing about you bringing peace to a woman in that particular time and really becoming and serving her at that time to make it as stress-free as possible. We don't have that in Western culture. It gets kind of taken out and kind of adopted and disappeared.
You're moody, man.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
like people
That's
just
all you get.
complain.
I learned to
Yeah,
just
because
bring
there's a lack
chocolate.
of respect for women. That's why.
Actually,
During
that
that
makes it
period.
worse.
Mm.
The
No,
sugar-
some
the
people.
The sugars and the caffeine and all
Oh,
of that.
for real?
Yeah.
I love
it-
chocolate
it-
during my period.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It increases my
'Cause it's
my
comfort.
cramps.
Yeah,
Is that for
because
you?
Nice,
It's
but it
comfort, yeah, but it's
increases
not
my
good for our
cramps.
cramps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
sugar
Yeah, it is
isn't the
comforting.
best.
Yeah. Like dairy, sugar.
And caffeine,
Yeah.
particularly, actually.
And if you're really smart, you run a bath, put some candles, play
that's
her
nice.
tunes.
Oh.
No, you're very specialist.
This
A
is why
little.
the women in your life treat you well.
Huh?
This is why the women in your life treat you well.
Yeah.
No, we're trying to get in one more just to really treat them well to the end, you know? And then
Yeah,
the
that'd be
long-term
cool.
ones.
That'd be cool.
I want to go to a wedding, so if any of y'all trying to make stuff happen, invite me in it.
Yeah.
Fair
It'd be
enough.
nice to have a daughter as well. I got 2 sons.
Nah, brother, you got allow no more humans, man. We got to stop.
Nah, I
No.
want a daughter.
Why?
The earth is full.
Yeah, that's for you.
You see they invented
That's
COVID
your
for
choice.
us.
That's your choice. You've got a boy and a girl.
I feel like we don't have enough kids in the West.
Me too.
In the West?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she wested us. No, we have enough
No.
everywhere. Let's no more, please.
Because I was
But why?
People can't afford
You're
it.
just saying that for yourself.
No, because people can't afford it.
No, I
feel
think
like
I
men
think people.
always-
don't
And
know-
there's-
I think men. I think people. Sorry, not men. I think people don't know how to. Perhaps. I think we want too much.
I think
Yes,
the
that's the
global South know how to do this because they're doing it at scale and they're doing it really, really well. Yeah, kids are being looked after, but we are not in the global South. So in London, for me, I feel like a hostage. I need to get the hell out of here because the demands from this country when you're here are not conducive to peace, to joy, to rest, to none of those things. So having more children in this climate is anti-black. I'm sorry. I'm just you should just have 2. After 2, you gotta move somewhere else, bro. There's no space.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like children need space.
I
There's
feel
no
like,
space.
No, but I feel like we should all be trying to get out, regardless of whether we've got.
Well, that's just what
children.
I'm saying, Tanya.
I'm
This
not
is why
being
you're
funny.
here.
I'm trying to like get a couple acres with like family and friends, and then we all just build our own houses on that.
That would be
Yeah,
so
I
good.
think
Like,
we're
it's
all just
just-
trying to do that, right? But
Mm.
not here.
No.
Not in the rain.
No.
No. Not in
No,
this
no.
dead ass country.
Mm.
But
Wow. That felt heavy.
it's the ghetto here. It's the ghetto here.
It's the
However,
ghetto.
we are very fortunate. Obviously, no complaints because of everything that's going on in the world. We are very, very fortunate. But I hear what you're saying. However, I don't think not having children is the answer. I think we
Not
just-
having children here.
Okay, fine. But I'm gonna have loads of children. And
Here?
I'm gonna have him wherever I am,
Yeah.
Here?
wherever I am.
Yeah.
If we need to up and move, then we up and move collectively.
Let's do it.
But,
I'll come.
like,
I'll probably visit you more if you go abroad than you do
Yeah,
if you
will.
were
But I
just
think
down
we
the
do need
road.
more children here. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
so funny how men are so like, I can't have kids until X, Y, Z. Women are like, I'm having children. Like,
Because
and
we
the
have to
guys have to
pay.
just like keep up with it.
It's
They're more
expensive, man.
logical. Men are more logical. That's why.
It's
I don't
expensive.
think it's-
We're logical until the moment.
yeah.
True.
Do you guys have any questions that you would always wanted to ask men, a safe group of men that don't have any judgment that you would like to get clarity on?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why are some men afraid to approach women?
Darwood.
Do you
I'm
mean
not.
now?
Strong women.
I'm
strong
not,
women.
but
yeah.
I've seen. I can imagine why a lot of men are, because it doesn't feel safe approaching a woman right now. Like
Yeah.
it really.
I thought so. I was
You
hoping
can
you'd
get
give me
your
that
head
answer.
bit off for like a compliment, and then also I think men don't know how to approach women.
There
And
is a
that-
school
and
of that.
Yeah, and that like I remember my friend. he's handsome. He's a male model, but he would just smile at women and leave it at that.
Because to do the rest of it just was
but every other guy is probably like grabalicious, like and doing a leery face and that, and he would just do a smile and keep it moving.
And would the women come?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. That's for the 0.1%ers, right?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Yeah. He's an exception.
I think it's a time where like it's an adjustment. When you think about going into being respectful and listening to everything that's been said, you're like, it's so interesting because I think some people are like, I want men to still speak to me because I'm trying to meet somebody. So, but at the same time I don't know if men know if they're handsome or not. So to like, you don't know.
Why do men think about being handsome? That has nothing to do with
but
anything.
it's confidence.
It does in a way of like, it's so, because what we've
found
observed is like, if a woman is spoken to by a guy and they don't deem him attractive, it immediately is a violation. And if he is attractive, it's like, oh, this nice guy talked to me today. And men don't know if they're handsome or not, really. We're just out here being good people as much as we can. And so you either are going to take your shot and risk it being a negative, or he's going to be like, I'd rather just not bother and wait for a natural moment to align.
I can assure you that grown women aren't thinking that man is not buff, so do not approach me.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not a thing.
Say that louder, because this podcast might go viral. Say that again. Hold on a second. Wait.
This is news.
All of our 6 out of 10s might be getting excited. What's there for me now?
We are all about, would you agree?
Yep.
That energy
Yes.
and
Confidence.
your aura and
Intelligence.
your confidence.
Oh,
yeah, and your
100%.
charisma is way more important than how you look.
I got
If
to
you're
say
grown,
one thing.
obviously there are, when, younger me probably was like, he ain't buff, but we're grown around this table. And if a man is approaching me with respect, charisma,
That's what I was going to say.
good conversation, I don't even know what you look like.
But.
Fancy that. Go on.
That is all so accurate. But the only thing is, it's not about how handsome you are, but it's how you put yourself together. So look presentable.
Yeah.
That's it. That's not about your
like you've
look.
got it
Just
together.
look
I
presentable.
don't know if
let
men even know that for sure either, to be fair.
I don't know if it is that.
See, I don't think I don't
I
look
do.
presentable at all in a conventional way.
No,
Like,
no.
But
I look
think
like
it's
a
your
wild man.
approach as well. You
No,
have to approach
exactly.
a woman a certain kind of way. Like you get your miss from across the road. Don't do that. Like walk up to me respectfully and then have
It's
a
energy.
conversation.
It's
the
energy.
It's the energy. It's the confidence. It's the way that you carry yourself physically as well as mentally. Like we can sense all of that. So it's like, come correct, and then we'll approach you the
I'm
same
gonna try
way.
that today then. see
And
what
women
happens.
love
Who knows?
compliments
You're
as
right.
well. Women still love compliments to this day. So
Is it? Really?
yeah, women love compliments.
course.
Yeah,
So
some women can't take them.
What
Do you
about them
agree?
guys that can't? You look buff.
Well, they can't say, "Oh, your bum looks nice and fat and juicy."
Yeah, I've had that. Your lips,
Yeah,
your
no,
lips.
not those
Calm down,
comment
calm down,
type
calm down,
kind of
calm
So
down,
what
calm
kind
down.
of compliments? Oh, the way you put your clothes together looks really
No,
nice.
just like you're
Yeah,
so
you're
beautiful. I
beautiful.
crossed the road because you're beautiful, and I wanted to talk to you.
Boom. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
a
would
girl
never
literally
do
just be
that.
like,
Simple that
But
was
I
though.
would
That's
I would-
never
But
do
why?
that.
Let's
So
go
nice.
outside. We're
But
not
why
far
would
from
you never
central
do
London.
that?
Let's just try it.
We'll
Let's
find
see what
someone.
happens.
Yeah, no,
Old school, like Trocadero times.
Yeah.
Also, get a wing woman if you're uncomfortable. Like I've got a lot of
wing
friends
woman.
that will just
Yeah,
go
but
out
in the
with a
moment.
female friend, and then like she'll approach someone and be like, "Just an FYI, my friend over there finds you incredibly
I don't know if I
attractive."
like that.
neither do I. I'm like, tell him to
I
come and
think
tell
that
me.
is
but
yourself.
I wouldn't-
Oh, yeah.
I think for some women
Sorry.
it depends. Like
Yeah,
there
fair.
are women that like a more straightforward kind of guy. I
Yeah.
do myself, but
Yeah.
then there are also women that are comfortable. Just it doesn't matter how
Having
it
it in-
happens.
a
Just
broker.
like just have it happen. Like I'm happy to be the wing woman for someone anyway. So I can't be hypocrite and be like I can do it
I'm
for you,
not
but I
gonna-
wouldn't like it myself. I
And just
accept it.
having that compassion, like, oh, maybe he's just a bit shy.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because men
that's
are
so
just shy now.
I'm not gonna lie.
Don't
I
be
do
shy.
walk up to women and say something to confuse them.
Okay.
So
well,
it just
then
gives.
this is-
It's a.
that's
it
your
could-
What do you
energy
say?
then.
What do you say?
For what reason?
Just say it, because
This has been the
Yeah,
Don't
no,
Let
can
That
say it.
podcast. My name's been Marvin Harrison. I just want to thank everybody for making it out today. Thank you so much. It is actually raining, and it's International Women's Month was last month, so this is technically the same thing. And I really appreciate you all. You're only really here because I like you all. That's only the real reason. I don't really invite people here just for no reason. And I have a lot of respect for you as people equally.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Please make sure you subscribe wherever you subscribe. We're actually doing really well online at the moment. I'm really impressed with what we've achieved. So thank you to Ramantha also, who slipped out halfway through.
Sorry, I'm late,
we are
guys.
growing. Oh, now you say sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Just before it was like, I'm busy. Talk to
I was
Tom.
in the green room. I was listening to the whole thing.
You know what it is? I love humility between us all. I love when we all ground ourselves in our truth and are able to say powerfully that I wasn't my best self in turning up on time to honor the invitation from a great man into a great space amongst great people. Thank you.
See, women do take accountability.
Yeah,
there we go.
at the last moment.